Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Kook Shed, my own little YouTube channel where I share ideas and tips related to bodyboarding and surfing, and I throw in a couple of reviews here and there if I find products that I think you might want to know about. Now, quite some time ago in a video I mentioned that I was going to do a review on this board. It's taken me quite a while to get to it. Sorry about that, but yeah, today we're going to talk about the Hypto Krypto, the Haydenshapes Hypto Krypto Softboard version. I think it's just called the Hypto Soft. But yeah, basically it's a softboard version of a Hypto Krypto. So you might be aware of the Hypto Krypto model by Haydenshapes. It's been an award-winning board. I've got one. I'm really happy with that one, and I'm going to do a review on that board a little later. Hopefully it won't take as long as it took to do this one. But yeah, basically it was a best-selling or really well-selling award-winning shape for Haydenshapes, and so he's come out with a softboard version. So I wanted to do a review on this board because it's got a couple of interesting features compared to most softboards. So what I like about Hayden Cox's ideas and boards and products is he's put a bit of thought into his creations and put in a fair bit of work and research and development into producing them. So it's nice to see a softboard that's not just another typical throwaway cheap softboard. So let's just go through a couple of the features that this board has. It's got a textured deck, right? So this is really cool. It doesn't need any wax because of this texture. And I've found it's really it's soft, obviously, but it's comfortable to use. It doesn't feel too much like softy. It doesn't have a lot of give in it, like some of those really squishy softboards, the cheaper ones. So that's really good. Another thing he's done with this, so with the original Hypto Krypto and the Future Flex, they had carbon fibre going around the outside of the board, the black part, and that acted as a stringer. So there's no wooden stringer in the original Haydenshapes Hypto Krypto, and the stringer is around the outside, and it delivers flex in a different way. And I actually like boards that do that, like a lot of the fire wires, like the helium, for instance, the helium construction fire wires, they do it. They put the stringer in the board around the outside, and it stops the board from twisting so much underfoot, and it just delivers recoil and flex in a different way, and it feels really responsive and poppy. So they've done a similar thing. Like, it's not the actual Future Flex that you think of when you think of the original Haydenshapes Hypto Krypto, but he has put in reinforced stringer around the outside, which is great. It follows with the original sort of concept. It also flexes in a nice way as well. So that's another tick. I find that it actually feels quite snappy for a softboard. So that's where your stringer is in this. The reinforcement around it's sort of woven with a material there. There's a woven material on the outside, which is good because it's safe. It's not going to take your head off. It still is classified as a soft board, and that's one thing I want to touch on. These softboards are good for getting around the surfboard bans. So you might live somewhere where there's a surf break that has flags, lifeguard flags, and they somehow they can put the flags up right in the best part of the beach where the waves are the best. And so usually surfboards are banned from that area to protect the swimmers that are swimming there, etc. Well, this is a softboard, so technically you can go surfing there using your softboard. So that's another thumbs up, especially in summer. You can take this thing out in the flags, unless you've got a lifeguard that's having a bad day. You should be able to take this out in the flags and get waves. So that's a great thumbs up. Just touching on that, it comes with plastic fins, so they're not as dangerous. They follow that softboard theme, and they come with basic black plastic fins, which is cool. And another cool thing I like about these softboards is they've actually got a futures fin slot, so you can take these plastic ones out if you wish and put in a performance oriented fin. You can try different fins in your softboard, which is awesome. If you think these are you don't like the flex of them, they're a bit sluggish, or for whatever reason you don't like, you can put in your favourite futures thruster set and give that a go as well. So that's another thumbs up. It's got a it doesn't have a slick bottom like a bodyboard. It doesn't have a shiny slick surface like a bodyboard. It's got sort of like a really hard density foam, which works well. It works fine. It's pretty resilient to dings. Look, if you're throwing this in the car with, toolboxes and things, yes, it might get damaged, but most of the time it's pretty resilient, and it's still technically a soft board. So that's another tip. Now, you might ask, why bother with the softboard if you're not surfing, if you don't want to surf between the flags, things like that. These softboards can be handy for a lot of things. You might have a reef break near you that's super dredgy, and you don't want to damage your fiberglass boards or your good boards. So a softboard like this with a performance shape like this, this can be really handy to have in the car for days that are a little bit too dredgy for you. You might just have your beach break might just be closing out a lot that day, and have a fair bit of size, and this is just a safer option, an easier option, a more fun option. You can get out there and practice your takeoffs. You can get out there and just pull into some big barrels without worrying about copping fiberglass in the head or some glass fins, getting injuries from it. So that's really, and also maneuvers. You might be working on aerial maneuvers. So aerial maneuvers, they can be quite dangerous for people that are just attempting them for the first time. People throw the board up there, and it might hit them in the face. It might flip in the wind, and they might land on it, fins up, that sort of thing. So these can be really good to practice sort of aerial maneuvers without the risk of getting hurt, and other moves that just might be a little bit more on the dangerous side in certain conditions, things like that. So having a softboard in the quiver can be good. Also, if you've got kids, you can take them out for a splash on it too, or you might have less experienced surfer friends or people in your family that want to come out. You just give them the softboard, and you just feel a little bit more confident knowing that they're less likely to hurt themselves, but they're still going to get a taste of the ocean and surfing and have fun. So that's good. Look, I don't think it's got the bottom contours of the Hypto Krypto. So the Hypto Krypto's got quite a detailed little how should we say, combination of bottom contours that work well with that board. I don't think they've gone to that extent. They've got the template, but I don't think they've put in all the bottom contours. So I just thought I'd mention that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see the highly detailed bottom contours that are on the Hypto Krypto. So that's pretty much it. Oh, one thing I'll mention is the volume too. So these guys, the softboards, they pack a little bit more volume in. So if you ride a 510 Hypto and you buy a 510 softboard Hypto, that's going to float a little bit better. It's going to have a bit more volume than the fiberglass version or epoxy version of the board. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, most people use the softboard in sort of more playful conditions, so a little bit more volume can be good and fun. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that they do pack a little bit more in volume. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Really nice feeling board. He was one of the first to sort of make a performance-oriented softboard. I've noticed there's a few people doing it now since him, but he was like sort of one of the first out of the gate to make a softboard designed to actually be half rideable. Like, it's not going to perform like a performance board so much, like an epoxy or a fiberglass board, but it's still, it can hold its own and will still be lots of fun, and you can still hold turns and things like that with these boards. So overall, he's done pretty well. This is one of the earlier models. There is later models out there now that with a different look, and there's different colours and things like that. But yeah, basically the idea is the same. So to make a board that's not too soggy, like a soft board that's not too soggy, that has a lot of recoil and snap in it, and in a performance shape. So overall, I think he's done really well. So that just brings me to, so he's got a book, this book here, New Wave Vision. Hayden Cox wrote this book. It's an interesting read. It's sort of about him getting started and where he came from and that sort of thing. It's a little bit older now, the book. It talks about the Hypto Krypto and the development of that and things like that. It might be interesting for you to read if you like Haydenshapes products. It just gives you a little bit of an insight into sort of where he's coming from, that sort of thing. I don't know, some parts I found a little bit self-indulgent, but sorry Hayden, but I don't know. It's his book. He can write it how he wants. He can put in whatever he wants, and the results speak for themselves. He's come up with some really good products that a lot of people like. So, you know, don't listen to me. Have a read of it. You might find it interesting, and it might give you sort of just a better idea of where he's coming from. Yeah, so when it's flat, grab a copy and give it a read. I just thought you might be interested in checking that out, that's all. Okay, so we're done. That's our little review on the Haydenshapes HS Soft, or the Hypto Soft, sorry. Hopefully it was helpful. If you've got one and you're having fun on it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. If you found it helpful, hit like. And if you want to see more reviews, ideas, tips, that sort of thing related to bodyboarding and surfing, hit subscribe, and I'll see you here next time on Kook Shed. Thanks for dropping in. Catch up.